My name's Larissa McFarlane, sometimes known as Lara. I've had my brain injury for 19 years and I acquired my brain injury when I was 29. Big part of having a brain injury is the change in your life and your identity. Brain injury changes so much about who you are, your abilities, your skills, your personality. So I think for many people, and especially for me, brain injury is about having these sort of two different identities, these two different ways of understanding yourself. I lost the ability to read after my brain injury, and that was incredibly a big existential drama for me. I actually had thought that all knowledge came from books, that I would go through my life and if I wanted to know something, I would go and read about it. And suddenly finding that I couldn't read, and also that I couldn't remember what I'd done yesterday, really undermined my sense of who I was and how was I ever going to move forward in life. So today, I have a brain injury, but I also am a disability activist and I'm also an artist. And both those things, which are amazing and I cherish, and I think they're really important and unique activities, they both have come about because I had a brain injury. So before my brain injury, I was actually, apart from books, I was really into music. Music was my big passion, and I would go and see a lot of music, and I played music, and I even worked in the music industry. But after my brain injury, I couldn't understand music, and to this day still, I pretty much dislike music. So there's a lot of grief associated with losing this thing that I was so passionate about. But on the other hand, after my brain injury, I found that I was really interested in what I could see. I just couldn't get over all the things in my street that I'd never seen before. It's like, how did I miss seeing that beautiful tree? And that building's really interesting. Like, it's been there, and how come I never noticed it? So, and colours. I loved colour anyway, but it was like, wow, that colour of that flower is intense. So slowly, I actually started to teach myself how to draw, and went to a few drawing classes, some of which were successful and not, because having a brain injury means that, well, most sort of mainstream places or community centres aren't really accommodating to people with brain injuries. So it was a slow process. And today I can claim proudly that I am a visual artist, I'm a printmaker, I do some street art, and I also am quite passionate about community art. My brain injury was probably a mild traumatic brain injury. And I say that because I actually think that's a really crap term, and I think it isn't that useful to the person or to society. I think when you put mild in front of a disability, what it means is that it means that the society or the people around you find you mild. But your experience of the brain injury or the disability is definitely not mild. I also think it contributes to so much shame around brain injury. I've come to understand that a lot of people with disabilities, particularly acquired disabilities, carry a lot of shame around having a brain injury, and that's a lot to do with the fact there's so much negative stereotypes around disability, and that we internalise those and then feel ashamed of our behaviour and ourselves and our being and our wondrousness. Some people do have physical disability. For myself, that is chronic pain. And so whilst I appear to be able to move fine and everything, I do spend 4 hours a day, I call it my part-time job, managing that pain and that brain injury. And if I don't do it, well, I then become, a bit bound to my bed or my house, and that's not the life I want to live.